like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon. Now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah.
I'm feeling that California love.
Long Beach in the house, Oaktown.
Let's go.
Oakland definitely in the house. Frisco, Frisco.
That's the dance you do when you short the top, close it, long early, give back all your money, long the wick, and round trip it back to zero. Let's go. The break-even dance.
Sacramento, where you at? Throw it up, y'all. Throw it up.
West Side. All right, guys. Sorry for the long delay. Honest mistake. I thought the daily close was at 5. And all my watches, I say that like it's a flex. My watch still says 5. And my brain just not fully functioning with daylight savings. The daily close is now 4 p.m. my time, not 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's like your dog. When you feed your dog at the same time every day, and then daylight savings occurs, and then they're sitting there waiting for their food an hour early, and you're like, you stupid dog. Do you not understand that, decades ago, or even maybe 100 years ago, I don't know how long, we invented daylight savings for farmers, So fuck daylight savings. That shit fucks me up all the time. I used to like it when I was a kid because you got that extra hour of sleep, right? Before school, you wake up at 7 a.m. but really it's only 6 a.m. So you gotta stay in bed a little bit longer. But now that I'm older, it's just fucking dark always. And I live in Vancouver, as you guys know, and we are having some crazy, like, end of the world like weather. We had a tornado last week, and a legit tornado, which is like unheard of for where I live. And then I went to LA, so I spent the last 5-6 days chilling in Los Angeles and La La Land. I met up with some homies from CT down there, which was super fun. I went to a Lakers game. Unfortunately, the GOAT, my GOAT, LeBron, wasn't playing, so I was a little bit bummed, but it was a hell of a game. We beat Miami. It went to overtime. It was awesome. And then, went out to a bar, went to a concert, saw Rufus Du Sol. And I don't know where you guys live, but at least in California, shit's open. Like, you need the Vax Pass to get in places. But once you're in, like, it's a party. Like, Rufus Del Sol had 50, 60,000 people raging. The club was packed. It was jumping. So that was sweet, because here in Canada, it's like you go to a bar, you got to sit at a table. It's stupid, but whatever. So I had a super good time. I brought my little brother down there. He'd never been to an NBA game before, never been to LA before, so I took him out. I took him to Universal, took him to the Lakers game. It was really fun. Yeah, a little bit bummed to be back, because now I've come back here to where I live, and there's like torrential rain. All of the highways leading into the city have flooded. People are trapped. Cities are flooding. It's really like the end of times right now. On the Money says, I didn't come here for a life story. Let me know when the stream starts. Here, buddy, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm just going to remove you from the chat, because I don't want to see your messages anymore, because you sound like a fucking dickhead. Fuck you. It's my stream. I'll do what I want. Maybe I won't talk about Bitcoin at all. Maybe I'll just fucking chat shit for 2 hours. Okay? So shut the fuck up. My first stream back, you're already trying to give me shit on the money? Get off my nuts, bro. Anyways. So LA was super fun, and it made me miss how nice it is to have warm weather. Oh my God. Y'all who live in states or parts of the world where it's warm all the time, you are so lucky, because going out in November in a t-shirt and it's warm is a fucking blessing. So Trader Mayne might have to move south. I don't know. We're cooking up some things. I might have to move south. I don't know. You guys let me know where, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of these cold ass Canadian winters. So let's talk about crypto, and let's talk about whether or not we're dead, right? Like, is the bull run over? Is it time to pack it up and see you again in multiple months? Miami, Maine. I kind of like that. That's kind of got a nice little ring to it. You know what I mean? Miami, Maine. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about Ethereum. And obviously we'll intersplice the chats with a little bit of knowledge. I'll obviously do some chat reading here. So if you guys got any questions, leave them in the chat. And then obviously at the end of the day, or at the end of the video, I'll do some altcoin requests. So if you have some altcoins that you want to see, leave those for the end of the video. I'll let you know when, and then you can spam away, and I'll cover as many of them as I can. All right, so real quick, this stream is in sponsorship, or in partnership, with Delta. So I've been working with Delta for a little bit now. So really looking forward to starting a trading challenge on the exchange itself. So I think for the start of December, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start like a 30,000 to 300,000, or maybe to 150,000, like a 5 to 10x trading challenge. I'm going to use Delta as the platform that I do it on. So trade ideas that I talk about in these streams, I will actually, kind of show you guys with proper risk management and taking some of these trades, how you can grow a trading account. So we'll start with something like 20 or 30,000 on there, and then I'm gonna run it up, hopefully do a 5 or 10x live for you guys. I think that'd be super fun, and it'd be a great way for me to kind of show you guys the exchange itself and how it operates and what's available on there in terms of product offering. Yeah, looking forward to doing that. So shout out to the Delta team. If you use the link in the description, you will get 10% off your trading fees, and you can get up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses by depositing money on the exchange. You get some free extra money based on how much you deposit. It's a sliding scale to trade with. So if you got any questions about that, let me know. But shout out to the Delta team. Show them some love by using that link in the description to sign up. All right, with all that stuff out of the way, let's get into the charts because they don't look good. We unfortunately have been dealing with a little bit of all-time high erectile dysfunction, on Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. We're getting these, we're getting these breakouts from all-time high that are not super fucking strong. Sorry about that. That are not super fucking strong, right? You want that all-time high break to be like this, right? This is the guy that she tells you not to worry about. This all-time high break right here. Consolidate under all-time high and then parabolic price action. That's the guy she tells you not to worry about. This is you. This is you. You break out of all-time high, and then you just go right back below it, and you start to look like AIDS. This is not obviously ideal price action in terms of what you want to see after an all-time high breakout. We obviously want to see kind of continuation of the trend. We want to see strength. We want to see continued push to the upside. Personally, I'm not too concerned. I don't think the bull run is over or anything like that. I do think there's some solid levels of support below. But the question is, when do you want to start getting involved? When do you want to start buying the dip? Or what levels do you want to look at for, kind of a reclaim of support and resistance to get back into your longs? Because basically, and we posted this on Twitter, once we had this kind of failure, that was kind of your sign that, we're probably going to have some downside. Our first area of interest looking to buy was this bullish order block. That's now failed. So now, on the reverse side, this is going to come resistance. So this is going to be kind of our level that we need to clear to confirm that we're actually able to go back up, right? So support and resistance, right? So we were trading up, we built a support level, right? We had a false breakout higher, and then we nuked the support level. Now this is resistance to me, right? So that's kind of what you're seeing, illustrated here. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is some top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to start with a brand new, fresh and clean chart. So fresh and so clean, just like my dance moves. And we are going to talk about some potential scenarios, right? What can we be looking for in terms of buy the dip areas, and what can we be looking for in terms of reclaims? Because those are the two scenarios that I'm interested in. I will lay out some kind of short setups, like short triggers, because we're traders over here. We're not just kind of blind holders. We are traders over here. So we will talk about some potential short scenarios. If there are some, what would they look like? Where would I be looking to get involved in? Because as you know, as traders, all we care about is up or down or sideways, right? That's the only thing price can do, up, down, or sideways. So we want to look at some potential ideas for both directions. I'm not going to be completely ignorant of downside potential and downside possibility. So we're going to start with the top-down analysis. So I'm just going to I'll start with a fresh and clean chart here. So we're going to start, I really like the 3-day chart, but the weekly chart and the monthly chart here, right? Potential scary hours here, So we got to be aware. You got to be aware of what's going on the high time frame. So we have a huge monthly swing failure pattern that's playing out right now. It looks very unlikely that the monthly is going to close back above this level right now. It looks kind of like shit. However, very obvious trade trigger. If you're a high time frame trader, right? If you're a high time frame trader, this gives you a very clear trigger to get gig along. And yes, it's the monthly chart. So what does that mean? It means large ranges. One thing that I get shit on for, specifically by Crypto Cred, because he's kind of a dick. I love him, but he does bully me. Even though I'm much older than him, we have like a brother relationship, a brother type of relationship, except for even though I'm like almost a decade older than him, he seems to be like the older brother. I'm not sure how the fuck I allowed that to happen. But I don't know. His brain is just much more developed than mine. I'm a little bit slow to the pickup, as they say. Who they is, I don't know. My energy level is good right now. I'm feeling like my energy level is high. We started off the stream with a fucking banger. This video is going to be demonetized because I played that song. But like, the vibes were immaculate. I was fucking feeling it. That guy talks shit. I shit on him immediately. It feels good. So, something that I get shit on regularly for, and something that I think is something I understand, and I get shit on it for by people other than Cred, because I know he understands and he's just poking fun. But most people don't understand is when you're dealing with high time frame charts, you're dealing with larger price ranges, right? So if I'm marking off, a monthly order block, being like, okay, well, here's a monthly order block here, and I want to see a bounce here, people will be like, oh my God, well, that's a 7%, box. Like you're saying could bounce anywhere between, 43 and 50,000. It's like, I understand that the box is 7%, but if it's a monthly order block, that means that my target is also going to be based on the monthly and is going to be, conversely large in terms of percentage points, right? We're dealing with large ranges on higher time frames. So if I'm marking out a 3-day order block and someone's like, oh, well, that price box is like $5,000. It's like, yeah, but if the price box is $5,000 for my entry, meaning my stop is $5,000 below my entry, my target better be at least $10,000 to $15,000 away for the trade to make sense, right? It's all about risk reward. The percentage points of the move, of the area that you're looking at, as long as the risk reward is there for your trade, it's fine. Monthly ranges, daily ranges are going to be bigger than hourly ranges and 15-minute candle ranges. But the trades will also take longer to play out and blah, blah, blah. So that's something I think a lot of people misunderstand. But when I am talking about the monthly here, right, the range is going to be large. But if we are to close back above this level here, this 64829 on the Bitfinex monthly chart, if we are able to close this month's candle, which closes in 14 days, above that level, that would be a very easy high time frame trigger to be bullish on the Bitcoin. And there's going to be people being like, well, no duh, like we traded 10% up from here and you missed that. I don't care about that first 10%. If I'm analyzing this on the monthly, I don't care what price does for this first 8%, because it can come all the way up here and then go down. But what I do care about is if it is able to close above here, that is a pretty clear trigger for bullishness. So I think that's a good level. If you're a high time frame trader, you're not really looking for, intraday setups. You're like, hey, when is it, okay to be giga bull on Bitcoin? Again, I think a reclaim of the all-time high level, in this case, on this exchange, it's there, 64829. That's a very clear bias level. Get back above there, monthly close above there, absolutely bullish. If we get something like this, let's assume for a second that this candle closes green or white, in my instance, like this, above this level. Any dip that we get early in the month, in my opinion, would be us setting the monthly low. And then if we reclaim that level, right, there's your risk, there's your entry. Your target is $1 bazillion per Bitcoin, or 70, 80K. I think that's a pretty clean setup if it plays out like that. Do I know if we're going to close above here? I don't know. We still got 2 weeks, long time to find out, but that's a very clear high time frame setup that I think you could watch. Okay. On the weekly, the SFP is not valid. This SFP occurred, but here we've closed through. So that's actually, potentially bullish on the weekly. One thing that I would be watching on this weekly candle is you have this move above all-time high, right? And then the quick rejection. A move back, if we break this low here, okay? If we break this low here, so we have this move above all-time high, we're back below. If we break market structure on the weekly here, so we get a weekly close below 57,606 on this exchange. Any sort of pullback in here, in my opinion, is a sell. With your stop here and your target being like way the fuck down here, or like way the fuck here. And again, people are like, oh, that stop is so far. But the thing is, it's based on the weekly, right? So where are we targeting? We're targeting weekly levels. So yeah, the stop is 9%, but the target is over 20, right? So it's still, you give you your 2R, right? So that's all that fucking matters. But that is a potential high time frame bearish setup that could be playing out on Bitcoin here. So something to watch. If we lose this weekly low, weekly close below here, I think you're selling pullbacks. Because I think that's a major trend shift, right? Weekly trend is still intact. We had an SFP here. There's your result. If we lose this weekly low, that's a major high time frame trend shift. I'm looking to sell pullbacks. And then maybe we put in a higher low, something like down here, right? But that would be something to watch, this weekly low. So far I've given you 2 key levels to watch, right? On the monthly, this is the all-time high level, a reclaim of that, pretty easy long. On the weekly, you really want to see us hold this 57,600 area. Don't want to see a close below there, okay? Because that would shift the trend, right? Right now we have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. This is your higher low that led to this higher high. You do not want to see this low get cut, okay? Because then we're in deeper pullback territory. It doesn't mean we can't do this, right? But you don't want to be holding Bitcoin for this entire down move if you don't have to, right? If this low gets lost, sell pullbacks, right? Look to buy into support. Okay? Those lines are so not straight, they converged. Okay. So, what else can we see here on the weekly? On the weekly, we do have a swing failure pattern here, right? So the exact same logic applies on the weekly that applies on the monthly. I'm just going to make this sorry. Hold on. Everyone calm down. All of you calm down. See, like, this is where I kind of wish I color-coded my levels, because then I could be like, yellow is weekly, red is monthly, but it just fucking ruins the aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? The aesthetic is all off. So I'm just going to do this. Right? Right? Okay? Exact same logic that applies to the monthly applies to the weekly here, right? This is our weekly trading range right now. Okay? So a sweep of this level would be a long, right? A reclaim of this level would be a long. A breakdown below this level and any sort of pullback either up into here, or if it's not even that strong and it breaks down and it just comes here, right, is a short. So those are the kind of setups I'm looking for on the weekly. We call those lines, those are Brokeback Mountain lines. Those Brokeback Mountain lines right there. Okay, so that's your weekly trading range. For me to get bullish, right, a sweep of the low or a reclaim of the high, right, would be a long trigger on the weekly. Now, we do have this monthly level here, right? If we come up here trade above here, but then go back down and don't close the monthly above here, right? I'm not interested in longs. Inherently, if we get above here and we close the monthly up here, right, I'm looking to long even before we get back above that weekly SFP level. So I think there's a lot of, kind of very clear triggers on the high time frame, right? I mean, this obviously get above all-time high, fucking get bullish. No shit, Sherlock. I think this gives you a nice kind of pre-level. If we can get that monthly close above here, I think you can confidently say that we're going to go higher. If we get some sort of sweep of this level, I think you can confidently say we can go higher. The bearish case, really, to me, is either a break of this low and then a pullback, or if this low holds, but then we come up to here and then reject, right? Bearish order block here. If we come up here and then reject, right, then I would probably be looking for a short, after we get a confirmation of a down move, right? Because this would put in a new swing low. We'd get a new swing low here. This comes up. If it rejects, now you have a closer level to short off of. So I know I just explained a lot of shit there, but hopefully it makes sense. It's only using 3 key levels so far to kind of frame your bias on the high time frame. Right now, the weekly trend is still intact. So keep that in mind. There's your kind of weekly bias level. Soon as we go below the weekly, the trend is starting to break down. Remember, the trend is going to shift low time frame first, right? Low time frame trend shifts lead to high time frame trend shifts, right? Oh my God. Oh my God, don't let Cred see that. Don't let him see that. High time frame. Don't let him see that, please. Okay. So, Mayne, how do we know if it's a sweep of the low and not a market structure break? Based on the candle close, right? This is a sweep. Went above, closed below. That's a sweep. This is a market structure break. Closed above the level there, right? So if we get a move down here, but the candle closes up here, that would be a sweep. Okay? So weekly trend still intact. Monthly key level is previous all-time high. Get above effectively 65K. Just long your longs, in my opinion. Weekly, we do not want to see us lose 57,606 according to BitMEX. All right? Once we start going to the lower time frames than this one, things are going to start looking a little bit uglier. Okay? So we're going to go down to the 12-hour. And we have our weekly. What is that? What is that? Oops, I wanted to. This is our weekly range. I'm so sorry. Okay, so everything I said about the weekly range remains the same, except for this is our weekly high, because this was a sweep, right? So that's your weekly low. This is our key weekly high here, okay? Because it was a sweep. We closed back below, right? So if we do this, but on the other side here, if we sweep but close back within, we'll trade this back into the range. But the weekly range I'm watching is between 66,958 and 57,606. That is your weekly trading range, which is a bullish range for now. Okay? All right. Everyone's on the same page, it sounds like. Yesterday, you post about the H12. What does it mean? H12 is the 12-hour chart. Okay. So now we're going down to the lower time frame here. Okay. So we have our weekly trading range here. Okay. We have that key monthly level here. And you can see the 12-hour as well as like the daily, we're starting to break market structure and not in a good way. Okay. Not in a good way. So the weekly trend has remained bullish. The weekly trend has remained bullish, right? But on the lower time frames, the daily time frame, what's happening, we're starting to lose key market structure levels. So however you want to slice it, whether it's this low or this low being your kind of market structure level, we have made a lower low. or we're in the process of making a lower low. I mean, we've definitely broken market structure here. Was this a sweep? Let me see. Yeah, so I mean, we broke the low there as well. So daily market structure has shifted to the downside, right? So same with the 12-hour, right? The 12-hour is going to shift even sooner. There's your 12-hour low. Here's another 12-hour low that's been broken. So we're starting to see some weakness on the lower time frames. This is starting to kind of look like, you know, your Wyckoff distribution, where it's like, boom, there's your fucking thing, your failure, right? And then sell off, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've seen a few charts that look like, give you that kind of Wyckoff distribution kind of schematic, which is kind of similar to what we had, you know, over here, right? Where you had your, whatever. I'm not a Wyckoff or I'm not like a Wyckoff trader really, but you know, a lot of people were looking at kind of a similar thing, right? Boom, boom. There's your throwback, and then it ate a dick. So I'm seeing a lot of charts that are starting to show that shit. Do I think that's what's going to happen? I mean, I sure fucking hope not, but anything is possible, right? So you got to be prepared. But the lower time frames are starting to shift bearish. The weekly time frame, I think, is the one we want to watch in terms of us holding that key weekly low. I think as long as we're closing above there on the weekly, we're okay. If we lose that low on the weekly, I think things get uglier and we start trading down into kind of this, you know, 52 area. So the next level that I want to mark out is actually from the 3-day chart, right? So I think we have a pretty clean level here on the 3-day, being this one right here. Make this the 3-day. Okay, so to me, weekly range is intact. This is our playground for now. This is our playground for now between here and here. Let's see what happens. But if we lose this low, I think we probably see an acceleration down to this level. Okay, right now the trend on the lower time frames is starting to shift to the downside. Right? So that could be leading, right? If we're seeing the 12-hour and the daily start breaking market structure to the downside, that could be a clue that soon the weekly is going to shift down to the downside as well. So we have to be aware of that. Looking at the 12-hour, gun to my head, what do I think is going to happen? I hope, right? We've now run this low and this low. This is that weekly low. We could come down here, get a sweep, and be a long, or we could rally from here. So the two scenarios that I'm watching based on the 12-hour chart are, this is the low for now, okay? So we've made a low into here. Sorry, that's not the... Is that the low I wanted? No, I wanted this one. Sorry. We've made a low into here, okay? You could argue that it's this order block as well. It's up to you. And we've kind of like, you know, we've wicked through it, but we're holding it. This is the one I posted on Twitter. So we've wicked below, but we're holding this order block, okay? And we'll see some sort of rally up into the bearish order block that caused this down move, right? So the trend has shifted. We broke market structure. So now we're looking to sell pullbacks. So I think up into about here, call it like 62 to 63K, right? This is the point of the breakdown. This is your bearish order block. All of these candles together are a bearish order block. You could go to the 3-day, right? Here's the 3-day bearish order block right here, or it's multiple 12-hour candles. I'm just visualizing it. Instead of saying, oh, it's the 3-day candle, I can just eyeball it and say, okay, this is a bearish order block here, right? So I do think if this low holds here, after running this, we get something like this. And this is probably a sell, to be honest with you. I think this is probably a sell. And then at least into here. And then if we sweep this and get back above, it's a long. If we don't, right? If we do not get back above, get a bounce and then go back, boom, I'm targeting down into here. But I do think that either from here, we get a retest of here, or we get one more leg down, and then we probably get a retest of here. But I think either scenario, at least on the H12, you're looking to sell between 62.5 and like 64. I think you're looking for weakness in here, and you're looking for reasons to potentially short Bitcoin in up in this area. So I don't really know what's going to happen for sure. I do think that this level is kind of no man's land. So I tried bidding this yesterday. So I was bidding here, right? And we basically got no reaction here. I averaged down, and now we're just kind of farting around here. So I don't love it. I would much rather, if I'm interested in getting in along with some sort of size, is look where that monthly level coincides, right within this order block. So if we're able to get here and start putting in bullish PA above effectively 65K, I think that is a good place to start adding size. Or a sweep of this key low, because this is out of all of these lows that we've run, this is the most important one, because this is the one that holds weekly market structure intact. Right? This is the one that holds weekly market structure intact. So if that low gets swept, right? So we come down and then we SFP it, essentially sweep it, or we break down but then reclaim it quickly. That is a low I'm much more interested in getting long in with size. We've seen like $1 billion, close to like 800, 900 million in liquidations so far. So it's a lot, but we haven't really seen like a true liquidation cascade. This has been pretty fucking controlled selling this entire way down by some guy on Binance. And then there's been, some consistent dip buying by people on like Bybit. So derivatives are buying the dip. Spot is selling on the way down. Derivatives are buying the dip. Spot is shorting. Usually that's not a recipe for a reversal. Usually what you want to see is spot stop selling, derivatives get blown the fuck out, and then you get those, kind of V bottom reversals. And that usually happens when you get a big capitulation event, right? Little liquidation cascade. And then, the buyers are blown out. The derivatives buyers blown out. Then you get that V, right? And then you get one of these things, and then it starts to go back up, right? We haven't really had that liquidation cascade yet, even though quite a lot of people have been liquidated. So maybe that's what happens, right? Maybe we get that one more leg down. We get that liquidation cascade. There is absolutely going to be stops sitting at the bottom of this range, right? Think about it. Everyone who's been longing basically since, the end of October, if you're looking at the high time frame, this is where your stops are resting. So absolutely has liquidation cascade potential here. So we will see what happens here. It's still early in the week. It is Tuesday. So, is the low of the week in, or are we going to see one more rip down? I don't know yet. I'm waiting for Barry Siebert to let us know and come back in and start bidding the fucking market. He told us it was going to be a big week, and it hasn't. It's been terrible. So we'll see. But those are kind of the scenarios I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Either a move from here, and then I'll probably look to at least hedge or short this, or a move below here. And I don't know, maybe a liquidation cascade propels it all the way down here. But a sweep of this level, I think, is a buy, or a move down into this level, I think, is a buy. Either way, I'm looking to buy the blood for at least some sort of mean reversion, right? If we get some sort of quick move down here, you're at least getting a bounce up into here, even if it's going to go down further. And, that's a really nice, kind of bounce opportunity. Same idea here, right? If we get a sweep of this level that's quick and then a reclaim, you probably get a pretty solid bounce after that, at least up into some resistance. So those are the two situations I'm looking for kind of on Bitcoin right now. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Eventually, I think we get a move towards 62, 63. And if we do, I'm looking to short that, get above 65, all hands on deck, uber bullish. And then those are the long scenarios. So does Bitcoin make sense for everyone? Is everyone on the same page? All right. Everything makes sense to everyone. Cool. 366 viewers and 83 likes. What the fuck? Let's pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, guys. All right, I'm gonna do a quick chat read, okay, guys, and then I'm going to gonna do a quick chat read, and then I'm going to do Ethereum. Okay. How do you decide if you should take the OTE trade or wait for the OB to retest? I will take the OB over the OTE, but usually they line up pretty good. I was told this is a place we can cope together. Is this the right place? Absolutely, bro. Come here. I'll give you a big hug. Here, just because ICT gave this guy a shout out, that's a big vouch. Thank you very much. ICT is my main mentor. What are your positions right now? I'm spot long Bitcoin. That's about it. I mean, obviously I own some Ethereum and shit like that as well, and some other alts, but I'm not in any leverage positions, at this point. Usually DXY rising means death for gold, but lately they're both rising together. No idea what happens if DXY hits 100, but that is some weird shit. I will cover the dollar index because it's something I've been tracking quite accurately, I'll add, for a while. Good shit, Mayne. Cheers. Great. OI is very low, so I wouldn't think it's harder. So I wouldn't think it's harder to get that cascade. I don't know if I understand what you're saying. Isn't that super bad if deriv is leading the bid? Yes, it is super bad. You want to see spot buying at bottoms, not derivatives, right? What up, Necklord Mayne? What's up, Kyle? What the fuck is up, Kyle? Could you point out the lower low that was found on the D1 chart? Right here. This low got broke. Just barely. If I knew how to draw a straight line, you'd see it more clearly, but that closed below the level there. This low also was broke, right? So, I mean, obviously this could have been a higher low to a higher high. That failed, and then this is the low that led to the higher high. That has now been broken. How can you tell if spot is selling? Get in discords with smart people who track that stuff, or learn how to watch the order books and things like that yourself. There's lots of great resources on Twitter. Mayne, do you use Wix on your order blocks? You should go watch my order block video. I did an entire video on order blocks, and I said in that video, any questions I get about order blocks, I'm going to send people to that video. So go check out that video, and I think all your questions will be answered. It's also almost got 10K views, which would make it like one of my most viewed videos, which is pretty hype. Where do you get info on derivs and buying up spot and selling? Yeah, like I said, I'm in discords with people who track the books and watch that kind of stuff, watch the tape. So I get that information from them. But it is something I think that, is a nice addition, a supplement to price action, something that I want to spend more time learning. When is Kobe back from vacation? I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. Maybe he meant big for shorters. I'm not sure what you're saying. Shall we start praying, man? I think it's important to pray every night, no matter what. Where can I read discrepancies between spot and derivatives? Well, you could make a fancy little sheet like this that actually will track that stuff for you, right? So you can actually see here. Where's the one? Oh, God. Oh, no, hold on. Right? So I've got... this is not what I wanted. Oopsies. Hold on. There you go. All right, you can get one of these things, right? So this will actually track, okay, what is what are the leading exchanges, right? So a spot exchange being Bitfinex, right? BTC USD here is trading at 60,050, right? Whereas Binance here, the perp, right? Derivatives is trading at a premium, right? So that's not ideally what you want to see. You want to see spot exchanges leading the recovery, not the derivatives exchanges. And you can see we have all the perp contracts here at the top trading at a premium to the spot contracts. Okay. 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 What other platforms is he streaming right now? I'm also streaming on Twitch. Yes, sir. Move to Dubai. I've thought about it. I was just there. Bro, I like your style. Get your subscription set up and make a little bit of money. Yeah, I should definitely do that for Twitch. I don't really know how. Is this dip caused by yesterday's China FUD? I don't think that's a factor, to be honest with you. Hello, Trader Mayne. Could you please explain how to tell that a level is confirmed? What clues do you need to follow? How do you go about it? For me, based on what level or what time frame the level is derived from, so if it's a daily level, I'm looking at daily candle closures. If it's a weekly level, weekly candle closures. Can we speak about the long-term macro view on BTC, where to buy? I mean, long-term macro view on BTC, I think anytime it has major, massive fucking collapses, right? 70, 80%, 50, 60% off of all-time high, long-term usually have been a pretty good buying opportunity. Dubai, it's summer all year round. It's really hot in Dubai, though, and it's so far from where I live. Can I show us your neck? Maybe if you're nice. Maybe if you're nice. Dude, if you're thinking about moving to the States, move to Colorado. Denver has mild winters and you get the mountains right there. You still get seasons, but they're not as brutal as Canada. I live in the most mild part of Canada, and so the winter here is not bad. It just rains a lot, right? And I got beautiful nature and mountains, but, you know, I want to live on the, like, I don't know yet. I'm still figuring it out. Okay, Mayne, when are you streaming with Roman? Hopefully soon. I'll follow up with him. Obviously, as you guys know, I've been traveling a bit. I had some unfortunate family news recently, so haven't been 100% on my game as much as I'd like to, but I will get a stream going with Roman at some point. What happened with AVAX? Weird, it's pumping so hard the past few days. Not that weird. I mean, if you go look at the chart, right? If you go look at the chart I posted on Twitter, why is AVAX USD pumping? Well, I mean, even though Bitcoin dumped, AVAX BTC is in an uptrend. So AVAX is outperforming Bitcoin. So when this chart looks like this, it's no surprise the USD chart, even on a Bitcoin dump, is having a strong recovery and is outperforming Bitcoin. Right? How can we tell if spot selling? I already answered that. Do you think Barry rugged us? I don't know. I don't trust him. Where do you trade mostly? On Delta Exchange, the partners of this video. Hey, the Scarface has a new Twitter. I was out for a while. I don't know if he's back on Twitter, to be honest with you, bro. Hey, bro. Can you do layer later? Bought someone with an extra zero before crash, so I'm fucked. Remind me at the end of the video, bro. Yeah, you're learning in the fire for sure. Okay, cool. That's enough chat for now. Let's get to how's chemo going. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. I brought that upon myself. I already answered your question, Carlos, like in detail multiple times. I'm from BC. Okay, let's get to Ethereum, Russian Ethereum. So we will do the exact same thing that I did on Bitcoin to Ethereum here. Top-down analysis. We'll look at some potential long and short scenarios. And then I will cover the dollar index. And then I'll do a couple altcoin requests. And then we will end the stream. And everyone will give me a big round of applause and tell me how awesome I am. Because I need that. positive reinforcement from you guys, or else I'll literally die. Bro, I'm from Vernon, born in Penticton. That's awesome. The Okanagan is beautiful. Carlos, someone said, Eric, I'm actually in chemo. Shit sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I did not mean to joke about something. Cancer is obviously very serious, and it sucks. So I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I hope you recover. I hope you recover fully. Okay, so let's talk about Ethereum. Russian Ethereum. Do we trust Vitalik? He's also Canadian, by the way. A lot of great Canadian exports. You got Drake. You got Justin Bieber. You got Jim Carrey. You got Vitalik. You got Ryan Reynolds. You got Ryan Gosling. You've got so many. You've got fucking not Barbara Streisand. You've got Cher. I want to say Cher. I mean, there's a lot of great people. You got me. You got Rookie. Right? A lot of great Canadians out there. A lot of great Canadians. Okay. So Russian Ethereum. Very similar to Bitcoin. We have a super clear high time frame level that would give you, kind of a very easy bias to get long on again, right? If we're able to get back above 4370, I think it's long anything, right, on Ethereum. I think that's a pretty easy bias level on the high time frame. Monthly trend is obviously still up. We do have this, kind of swing failure pattern happening here on the monthly, so you do have to be aware of that. But the exact same logic kind of goes for Bitcoin. If we're able to reclaim that level, I do think it's quite bullish. Okay, going down to the weekly, right? The weekly on Ethereum is a little bit trickier. Because you don't really have a clear swing low to determine your weekly bias. Like if you look at Bitcoin, right, we've got that nice weekly swing low to be like, okay, the weekly higher low is here, right? Because the next weekly higher low is way the fuck down here. And that's a long way that this can drop and still be a higher low, right? Like if I just put my fib here, from here to meh, right? You could have a higher low way down here in the 50 to 48 region. I mean, I'm buying here, right? I'm buying here if it happens. Absolutely. You got an order block here. Perfect swing there. But we do have this nice little higher low here right at the 382 for a potentially shallower pullback. I think everyone would prefer this in terms of if you own altcoins and you own Bitcoin, you don't want to give money back to the market. But I do think that, this is a great buying opportunity if it does happen, is that very deep pullback, right? But who knows? We'll see. Anyways, back to Ethereum. I got distracted. Ethereum doesn't have that same clean low because we've had this crazy kind of channel that's been going on for like almost 2 months where it's just been, straight up easy mode on Ethereum, right? You've just had this infinitely long, kind of just almost SPX, S&P 500 like channel, and that's finally broken down. So I do think you want to be aware of, just how, many stops are resting, here, because people have basically been longing Ethereum for 2 months with zero repercussions, right? You long here, stop here, untouched, right? Long here, stop here, untouched. Long here, right? Stop here, untouched. Same over and over and over again until finally we've had a breakdown. So something to pay attention to for sure. Why am I getting so many fucking text messages right now? Phone is just dry all day. As soon as I start streaming, I'm the most popular guy in the world. So we don't have that weekly low until way the fuck down here, right? So way down here is the weekly market structure level, which is, unusable in my opinion. So the level that I see of interest here is right here. It's effectively, I would almost just put this as 4K. Right? 4K, right? This seems like a very good level to buy the dip if given on Ethereum. If we get some sort of move down here, some sort of wick, right, and a reclaim, I think that is a very good level to potentially look for a sweep to buy, something along those lines, right? So that's kind of your equivalent to the 57 level on Bitcoin, is that 4,000 level on Ethereum, okay? Looking down at the lower time frames here, we have, like I said, broken that never-ending trend, right? We've had this kind of trend forever, finally broke down, broke your key lows here. Like if this is your swing low, market structure is broken. If this is the swing low you're looking at, market structure has broken. So just like Bitcoin, I think on Ethereum here, any sort of move up here in the short term, back up into like here, I think is a short down into here. Okay, maybe we come higher, maybe we come all the way up here, but I think for now, the first pullback, right, we just broke a key low, first pullback, and whether that pullback happens from here or it happens after this move, I think the move up here is a short on Ethereum. If we can close the monthly candle back above here, I think that's a pretty good sign to start looking for longs again, because if we get kind of this action, right, and the monthly candle closes up here, this kind of becomes a deviation, and I think there's your risk, you know, long it to a new high. But for now, I think if we get some sort of pullback here, right, back into this, back into that SR level, I think is probably a short down towards 4K. Some sort of sweep of the 4K level or anything like that, right? Sweep and a reclaim, whatever, is probably a long, at least back up into there. So that's kind of my thoughts for Ethereum. That's the key level that I would want to see us reclaim, to be like, okay, close the monthly above there. That would negate the SFP here on the monthly, right? That would negate the SFP here on the monthly. And I think would be a pretty safe bet that, you know, there's a good chance we go, you know, and hit that 5K and beyond level. But we're going to have to wait and see. This 4K level I like as a potential area of support. But if the whole market nukes, right? Like if Bitcoin wants to go to 52, let's just say, if Bitcoin wants to go to 52, there's a lot of untouched stops down here that things can get ugly real quick on Ethereum. So definitely be aware. You know, we still have that kind of ugly deviation above all-time high. So how do we invalidate this? Well, we reclaim that level. We got to reclaim that level to start looking, you know, very bullish again. But for now, I'm watching. I'm not in a position on Ethereum. I hope it bounces from here. You know, we've got some kind of support coming in here. But if it goes to 4K first, I would not be surprised, and you'll be prepared because now you have a plan that you can copy. And then if it doesn't work, you know, you can blame me because, you know, it's definitely not your fault that you lost money. It's got to be someone's fault, and it's not yours, so it's got to be mine, right? Sorry, I have to respond. This person's blowing me up. Yeah, someone is just fucking selling the living shit out of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, every single move. Like, this is not a bottom. This is not how a bottom forms, right? Like, this looks like it's gonna just accelerate to the downside. And fucking Ethereum looks like the same. Like, this looks so bad. There's nothing like that. So this is effectively like your RSI here, similar to RSI. This is RSI. Problem with these types of indicators, right, is everyone's like, okay, well, like RSI is oversold, right? This thing can go all the way fucking down to here, and this will still be curling up, right? It means we are going to bounce soon, right? But this thing can stay oversold way longer than you can fucking stay solvent. Doesn't look good. Like, I hate this kind of grind. Like, I really thought after this, right, big wick, ran some lows, and then the higher low here, I was like, okay, if this can now make a higher high here, right, this had that chance to run up into here. So I scalped the long last night. I scalped the long last night or earlier today. I can't even remember. I didn't sleep much last night. And I was up, right? I scalped it. I was up, and I'm like, okay. I went to the gym, and I've round tripped it. So I cut it at break even here because I don't want to lose money on the trade because I wasn't super confident in the first place. But I was thinking we'd at least get to, like, 62, right? At least come and fill in some of this, but no dice, man. The selling is just relentless. Like, anytime buyers have showed up here, the selling's just accelerated on the next leg. No one can absorb how much this person is selling. Or if it's one player or if it's more than one, I don't know. But it's nonstop TWAP selling and claiming longs on Bitfinex, according to my friend who's watching the books right now. He says they're just consistently selling. Like, TWAP means it's automated, right? Just in chunks. Boom, 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 boom. And then they're claiming longs. And no one is really stepping in to bid. So chances of this just opening up pretty high. Just nuking. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if on stream here we just see a fucking big old candle come right for that fucking low. Let's see. We'll watch. Okay, so Ethereum I've gone over. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. But yeah, like, I definitely think you want to be, careful with altcoins, right? Like, this is a new daily here, but if you go to, alts, Bitcoin dropped yesterday, right? Bitcoin dropped 7%, right? And a lot of these alts are gonna drop even more, right? Almost 10% on Solana, right? Sushi, 12% top to bottom. Matic, right? So the sensitivity of altcoins right now to Bitcoin's price movement is quite high, right? You're seeing it's quite sensitive. Meaning, if Bitcoin's gonna fucking dip, right? Like, this looks like weak as fuck. If Bitcoin's gonna drop another, 5 points or whatever, like, let's just go to here. If Bitcoin's gonna run this low, another 5+% and maybe even lower, right? 5 to 10% down, alts are gonna take a whack. So you want to be careful, I think, in alts right now. Very few of them are outperforming, and how can you tell? Go look at your altcoin and compare it to Bitcoin, right? So if you're looking at Sol, right? This is looking like, okay, well, maybe this is going to roll. And so if this goes down, right? If Bitcoin drops, Sol is going to drop more. Where the opposite is happening on AVAX, for example, right? Avalanche. Whereas, this looks much stronger than a lot of other alts, and that's because this chart looks much stronger. So if Bitcoin drops, right, but this is, doing this still, this might go down in terms of USD, but it's going to go down less, right? And I did a video on this. You can go watch it. It's in my altcoin series. Okay, so we've covered Bitcoin. We've covered Ethereum. It looks like both of them kind of want to run these lows here. Right? It looks like that low wants to get run, and it looks like Ethereum wants to run that low around 4K. So we will have to see. We're over an hour on the stream already, so I'll probably get ready to cut it here pretty quick. I'm going to take 2 altcoin suggestions here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. First one back. I have 2 altcoin videos I'm working on this week, so I'll hopefully get those out to you in the next couple of days. They're going to be quick hitters. So I'm going to take 2 altcoin requests now, but if you're interested in having me review an altcoin of yours, leave a message in the comment of this video, and I'll make a tweet about it as well, about the altcoins you'd like to see covered in my next altcoin video. So I'm going to cover 2 altcoins. So start spamming the chat now, and I will pick 2 random altcoins to be the lucky winner of my analysis. Okay. So, if you want analysis on Solana or AVAX, I did those on Twitter today. So just go check my Twitter. I tweeted out charts. I'll very quickly look at the US dollar index because I said I would. I do think there's a correlation between the pullback that we're seeing on Bitcoin and look what the dollar index is doing, right? If you've watched my videos in the past, I talk about the inverse relationship between the dollar index and Bitcoin, right? Where is the top on Bitcoin? Right here, right? And this most recent run, or this most recent dump. So there's going to be periods of correlation where it's stronger. It's not always going to be a 1-to-1. But if you've been following my dollar index thread that I've been posting since the summer, we called this higher low. We called this retest. We called the move here. And we called for the filling of the fair value gap right here. So all my targets have been achieved now on the dollar index. So what I'm really hoping this does is it pulls back now. You know, if you look at pairs like the Euro USD, right? Dollar's been strong, Euro USD's been getting absolutely smoked, and Bitcoin's been getting smoked. So what I'm hoping is that, you know, part of this pullback is just, you know, relative strength to the dollar index as opposed to the market imploding, but who knows? Here you go. See if we get that acceleration to the downside now. Looks like it wants to. Okay, I'm gonna cover... Just see one that's been mentioned a shitload. I covered LTC on Twitter today, so check out there, guys. Like, now that I'm not long, I want it to nuke so I can long. Funny how your brain works. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna look at. I'm not looking at Algo or at Atom. Sorry, I've looked at Atom so many times. I fucking hate that coin. All right, let's look at Luna. Luna's a layer 1, right? I don't know what the fuck all this shit is. So I mean, Luna. You can't see my beautiful eyes. Don't creep me out like that, bro. Don't hit on me. Okay, Luna, let's see here. I have a feeling this has a fat RSI divergence going on. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not an RSI guy, but I could just kind of tell by this PA that, you know, you've got this happening. So something to be aware of on the high time frame is, you know, this is trending down. Right? Kind of like this. Trending down, that's trending up. Usually leads to one of those. So I don't know, but just something to keep in mind for Luna there. Why can't I delete this? Go away. Okay, Luna, Bobuna, Banana Fana Fafuna. I don't know. I mean, this has to hold, right? On the weekly, that has to hold. It made a higher high here. Higher low, higher high. You want to see a higher low form in here. And if Bitcoin shits the bed, you know, this thing might dump through this zone. But, you know, there's a nice low here perhaps that gets run. And that could line up well with Bitcoin dumping another, you know, several percent as this thing dumps another, right? This has a long way to go down here. So, you know, maybe you see something like this. 38 might be a good buy area for Luna, but that's another 15% down from where we are here, right? So something to be aware of, something to watch. But yeah, Luna, that weekly, right, is bullish. Here's your weekly bullish order block. Here's a key swing low, maybe a run of that low and then a reclaim of it. 38 there would be a good area to bid, to buy the Luna coin. Okay. Yeah, BTC starting to puke a little bit. Still hasn't broken down though. Tiny little SFP here to be honest with you, but still hasn't broken down. Okay, let's look at Sand. Is this I think this is like a pay to play game. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, I'm longing fucking Litecoin and Atom, and I should be longing this, whatever the fuck this is. God damn it. So problem with this thing is it's like, where do you get in, right? Where do you get in? Looks insane. I don't know. The two levels that jump out of me are like these two right here. So assuming that it continues its upward momentum, even though Bitcoin looks like shit, this thing's been chatting, you know, at 320, and then if you're lucky at 280, right? Or something like this. Those would be the two buy scenarios I'd be looking for on this thing. If this goes up and then comes right back down and loses this high, that would be my fear that this thing is top. Because on the high time frame, this thing's, you know, extremely parabolic. I'm not trying to call top, but that's what I'd be watching for. If you're saying, when is this run going to end? Well, if you have like some sort of deviation, if you have some sort of deviation above the high, so we do get a move up, but then it gets right back below, kind of like Bitcoin and Ethereum have done, that would be kind of your get out of town signal. But yeah, I mean, fuck, I wish I owned this coin and not some of the other alts that I own. That's for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, I got 2 altcoin videos this week. So leave comments on this video of the altcoins you'd like to see me cover in those altcoin streams. I feel like this was a good, fun stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, of course, you can hit me up on Twitter. My Discord is free to join. The link is in my Twitter bio. As usual, shout out to Delta Exchange, the partners for these streams. Help me out by using the link in the description, signing up, putting some money on there and trading. I will be doing that trading challenge with them. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I love you guys. Looking forward to getting some more content out there for you this week. And we'll talk to y'all soon. All right, guys, stay